MICAH Beats activate.
Welcome to Just Therapy, where we talk about life with a comedy twist. With your hosts, comedian Sean Boyd, Antonio Ferguson, and Miss KT. We talk about a whole bunch of shit from politics to people actually taking shits. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the therapy session. Man, this be dope. Make a motherfucker want to rap. I can't rap, man. Hold on, here we go. I can't rap. I really can't. But come sit down on the couch with us. Man, I can't rap. Come to the couch. Enjoy the show. Let's go. It's been one hell of a time trying to get on, but just another day on the couch talking about all the problems of today. Welcome back to another episode of Just Therapy. I am your host, comedian Sean Boyd, and it's been an interesting ride trying to get on the damn couch today, y'all. Oh my gosh. Hey, so listen, my guest canceled on me last minute. I had to do an update. It took a fucking hour for the computer to update, which is crazy because it's still a new computer. And I don't even watch porn on this fucking computer. I just use my phone, y'all. And I don't understand why it did this to me. But today is a special episode, Just Therapy, Funny Stop Pete stories. And I got a slew of funny motherfuckers with me, all good friends, and I met them all because of Pete. So let's bring them in. We got Dick Danko, Chris Clem, Ben Palmer, aka Palmer Trolls, comedian Jeremy Shear, and my main man, my uncle, Chevy Terrell. What's going on, y'all?
What up with it?
Should I turn my camera off? Like these guys all have theirs off.
they turning their cameras off. They are
I'm in this motherfucker. What's up?
There he is.
They all was already on here waiting on me to get on, and they was all talking mad shit. Well worth it, because I deserved it. And I missed most of it, but when I got back on, I seen Shearer said I was going to the library, and I'm like, I'm not going to the library. I'm about to throw this fucking computer out the window. But we're here, so Couchers, my bad. I apologize for being extra late today. And like I said, we sharing stories about Pete, the owner of the Funny Stop, and all I heard him say when I couldn't get the computer on was "fuck you, Sean Boyd." So we here, man. We are here. Yeah, man. So what we gonna do is pretty much go around. We'll share a story, share another story, and laugh and get it in. I mean, we really ain't got no format. It was last minute, and everybody was gracious enough to jump on with me, and I appreciate y'all, man. So
we allowed to talk shit about each other?
Yes.
I hope
say
so.
whatever the fuck you want.
And no, Mike Trevisano came back to life.
You talking about Tim Danko?
Now, who else would it be?
Hey, SB, I thought you were the untypical black guy. We've been waiting here for a fucking hour, man.
The bad part about it is I jumped on and Chevy was on. Me and Chevy started talking. Shear got on and Shear said something. Then it started freezing. So we blamed it on Shear. And then next thing you know, I get kicked out. They still left here. And I was on at 6:30.
He was.
That's the bad part.
He was on there at 6:30. Both the black guys is on here at 6:30.
All right, hey, let's go around and tell our meeting Pete for the first time stories, and then we'll just go from there, y'all. I guess I'll go ahead and start, and then we'll go from there. First time I met Pete was the first time I got on stage. He made fun of me and yelled at me all in the same fucking day. I came in high as shit, of course, because back then when I started almost 15 years ago, I was always high. And he had told my friends, he was like, your friend, he's scared shitless. He's going to shit on himself. And I'm like, no, man. Like, and I heard him say shit and shit on yourself and scared shitless. All the other shit I didn't understand because I didn't speak fluent Pete at the time. Got on stage, had a blast, came off stage, and he came up to me, was like, you've done this before. And I'm like, I haven't. And he was like, fuck you. Yes, you have. She'd, and just walked away. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? So that was my first interaction with Pete. Tim, what about you, man?
The first time, well, it wasn't the first time I was on stage. It was the week before it, because I went and saw, I went to the amateur night with my friend because he was up. Dylan Teeter, you guys remember Dylan?
Yeah.
He dragged me up there to see him, and then I meet Pete for the first time, and yeah, I asked who that guy was. Like, that's the owner. Like, that's not the owner. Like, I don't know why I thought that couldn't be the comedy club owner. It's the first comedy club I was in. I didn't know what I expected, but it wasn't that, But the next week I came back. I saw people bombing, and I always wanted to do stand up, and I saw people bombing, and I'm like, that's the worst that can happen. I'm like, it seems like they're all right. And so I went up, and it didn't go great. He yelled at me for not bringing enough people. And then I was terrified to come back without people, but I did. I kept coming back like every Tuesday for like 6 weeks or something. But I don't think he really started yelling at me until about the third time, and that's like everybody. Like I didn't know why he yelled at me. Like, does not want me to come back. And I think probably Clem, because I think I met Clem that first night, probably said, no, that's not. He likes you. There's a difference.
Chips.
Nice. Chevy, mute your. I'll mute him.
Well, look at Chevy.
Chevy, go ahead with your first time story of meeting Pete. Since you so loud with your nephew.
I didn't know Pete knew Ray Charles, man. This shit is crazy.
Yeah, man. My first time meeting. He said, Georgia, y'all caught me going to the on my mind. Yeah.
I just see the limp from the camera dropping back and forth.
We're going to the vending machine, man.
Are you delivering people a vending machine snacks?
I don't know what the fuck
Like vending machine. They're like
Mike Gersh in the building. What's going on, Mike? Hey, what's funny is we just now getting on because I had to do a system update that took a fucking hour. You made it right on time, Gersh.
All right. Well, I just got done doing one podcast, and cool.
Yeah, we going around telling our first time stories. Chevy got cut off somehow because he looked like Ray Charles, but he didn't finish his first time story. Finish the story.
Hey, that's it. Ray Charles was missing the
You
All right, now you're in the elevator. Ben, tell your first time story.
Oh shit! Good lord. All right, first time meeting Pete. Honestly, I don't even remember the very first time. I'm sure he said something to me, but I remember like the second or third time. He told me I lost the contest because I stole a Mitch Hedberg joke, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Okay, all right." I had no idea, but I don't know. He was just like giving me a hard time, and then from then on, he was always like, for the most part, giving me a hard time, especially when I started hanging out with you guys. And, especially when you guys started getting in trouble with him, too, because that would almost be worse if, like, your friend was on Pete's bad side, because then every time he saw you, he would tell you about your friend. And, like, that's all he would talk about. Like, Pete, what about me? Like, what about me, man? Like, can I get some stage time? No. Sean Boyd got up on stage last night high as a skunk. He's like, he fell asleep. He fell asleep on stage. And then, you know, so SB was one who was always on his shit list, and then Anthony Sabat,
Yeah,
you know, he's like, for those who don't know him, has a long beard, only showers like once every 10 days. He was always on his shit list too. And so I'd either have to hear about those two guys, or if it was me, he'd be mad at me about cursing or being dirty or doing bar shows. You know, he's always telling me, don't do any bar shows. But yeah, that was pretty much Pete, my Pete experience in the early on time.
Chris, give us your first time meeting Pete story.
The first time I met him, I actually remember really well because I had to call up to get my spot on the open mic, and you call him up, and he answers sometimes when you be calling the club. He'd be like, "Hello," and I'd be like, "Hey, I'm trying to get a hold of the Funny Stuff." He's like, "Yes, this is Funny Stuff," and it was like, "Can I get on the amateur night list?" He's like, "Yes, what's your name?" And they tell me my name. He's like, "Okay, big guy, I see you tonight," and then just hangs up. And I was like, "How does this guy know I'm a big guy? Like, he should know who I am." And then I find out that night he just calls everybody big guy or chief, like as a split decision when they come in. Like, "What's your number, big guy? Come on, chief." And that was definitely the first time. And it went pretty good, and he's like, "Oh, I'll come back next week." And I thought it was like a big deal until I realized that was like what he just said to everybody.
Oh shit, Chevy, you ready to go with your first time story, or are you still in the elevator?
He's just a frozen image right now.
Hey, I'm definitely giving him 1 star on DoorDash for sure.
1 star. All right, Gersh, give us your first time meeting Pete story.
Okay, I'm much older than all you guys. So I started in '95. Pete wasn't running much of anything in terms of the show.
I didn't even graduate in '95. I graduated in '96.
Because I had to go through Lucy to get my open
Yeah,
mic. And Pete and Tony were
they still got that email.
Yeah, but, so Pete, you had email for yours. Yeah, I didn't have that. So because Lucy was in one of my grad classes, and that's how I got hooked into there. But Pete and was pretty much in the back, either cooking or very minor details. Because a guy named Tim Luna was the one doing this show. I mean, he would give you the talk before open mic night and so forth. I remember Pete, I think, was working the door maybe, but you know, I had to be 95 some point in time, you know, meeting Pete and Tony and just you know, him giving us crap like usual. But it would, you know, as time went on, I think he had more once he took more of an ownership of the club. But man, it was like 95, 96 when I really don't recall much then in the early days, but I do remember him having open mics and going, you know, language and, you know, in his thick, you know, Lebanese accent as he's swearing at you, talking about language before you go up. That was always fun, him swearing and go keep it clean. But, you know, those early times in that old club, it was just so different in terms of the shows, the audience, but to have that atmosphere with them, I remember them putting in, you know, like not really slot machines, but anything to make money in Joker's Grill. It was like I forget what type of gambling machines they were, and they just kept on trying everything, you know, in that club. But I just remember Pete being so young back then too, before the kids were even born, you know. And yeah, so I'm kind of old, but as time went on, you know, he became that gruff person where his bark was loud, you know, bigger than his bite. I mean, he had no bite. That's what we all know. Just a kind soul who enjoyed being a part of everything. And it's going to be very weird to step on that stage Friday night to do a show, knowing that he's not going to yell, "Fuck you, Mike Gersh," or, you know, someone in that, you know, audience or in the showroom. So I remember seeing Pete transition from, you know, showroom, you know, manager into owner from those times.
That's what's up. Sheer, he said his connection sucks, but he said I also met Tim in 05. He was done shortly after I started.
Bro, look at Chevy. If you get that as your DoorDash delivery person, you know you're not getting utensils.
You know it's taking an extra half hour too.
Hey, did you see he was drinking something? Hey, whose drink is that, Chevy? Damn, they paid for that shit, man. Oh, he's drinking somebody's Diet Coke too, man.
Hey, I saw Chevy post on Facebook or something that he's been working out hard, so I respect that.
Yeah, I've been working out.
Chevy, give us your first time meeting Pete story since we can actually hear you.
My first time, well, this was funny because it started off as the phone call. And we ain't understand each other. It was just like, all right, man, just come on down to the club. That's all it was. It was like, what do you say? You know what I'm saying? And my first time meeting him, I didn't know nothing about comedy, and I just won it. It was so long ago. It was like, because I met Peter like 05. I started when they was across the street, but I remember it was like I was talking to somebody else. So the first time I performed, it was actually hilarious. I remember seeing him, but he ain't say nothing to me. I figured he was the owner or something. He had something to do with it. But when I met him, he was probably across the street. And he just told me to keep coming back. And I did. And that was that. You know, it was history ever since then. And he was a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He was a real nice guy under that bulldog look. He looked angry as shit, but deep down, he had a good heart.
He definitely had a good heart, man. I was just thinking back, like after I started, he had invited me to come up on Thursdays, and that's when the club was open Tuesday to Saturday.
Yep.
Thursday was a big night for the weekday, for like the weekday, and the headliners will be there Wednesday to Saturday, and he would give me 10 minutes on a Thursday, knowing I was brand new, and he let me go up and hone my craft, like just starting out, which, you know, looking back on it, I'm like, that shit's crazy, because even when I do shows, you know, I might get somebody like the 3 to 5 minutes, you know, their first time ever doing it. But to give somebody 10 minutes on a main show every week consistently, I wouldn't do it. Like, I wouldn't. But he did. It was crazy. Like, I don't know if he just saw something in me or whatnot, but like Pete gave me a lot of advice and he yelled at me a whole hell of a lot. And it's crazy because like I met all of y'all from the Funny Stop and Pete.
Yeah. Well, you look around. I mean, that on Friday from was it 4 to 7? You know, whatever the call-in hours were. If you look around that room, you had older people like me, older people like Charlie Wiener and Bill Bendon, down to people that started. That impact Pete made was evident in that room, in that community environment. And, you know, the stories were all the same. Like, who didn't he say F you to? And stage time and, the opportunities he gave us was just incredible. And to be part of his family, right? We weren't just a comedian. You know, staff wasn't just staff. You were part of family. And Sean and Tim and I don't know who else went to his Christmas parties where, man, after the second show ended, back then when the second show started at 10:30.
10:30, yep.
And that party didn't start till 12:30, 1 a.m. And you're bone tired, but you get in that house and Pete's in his element and he's the king of the castle there. And, you know, you didn't want to leave. And, you know, just the type of guy that he was, whether you were a brand new open micer or a vet, you were welcome in his house. And that says a lot about the man that he is.
And it's really the whole family that made you feel like part of the family too. It wasn't just Pete.
Right.
Right.
Those
Sorry,
Tim.
Tony, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say those parties were great because my wife just sent me all these videos she took one day. There was a comic, I'm not gonna say his name, but Pete always said he cheated on his wife, and then he actually did. And he spent that whole
Oh, shit.
He
I
spent
already
the-
always said that.
he spent the whole party being like, I told you he cheated on his wife.
Oh shit! Hey, that's hilarious. Because I remember him saying that every single Christmas party when his wife was sitting next to him.
Yes.
He
Can we
said
say-
it went in front of his wife every
He
single
cheated
time.
on you with the blonde from the net.
Oh my god! I just hope it wasn't the blonde though that he cheated with.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. But that's the type of thing. He like knew everybody and he liked to bust everybody's balls. If he liked you, he was such a not to, in a bad way, rest his soul, but he was a prick when he would just get on your case like that.
Hell yeah!
Man, I was on his shit list the whole time. I never actually got booked to work for him. I was always just like, I won a contest. I won the feature contest. I never got featured. It's like, damn. But I got to go back and fucking headline. And that was cool. That was like a couple months ago. Huh?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, Chris set that up. Thanks, Chris.
No,
that was your first time being back there in a long time too, right?
yeah. It was.
Yeah, that was nice, man. That was cool to do because Pete was just like super happy and he treated me with a lot of respect. So it was pretty cool to just feel that, he like respects the growth. So that was nice, man. You're not always on his shit list.
Definitely. Like it was easy to get on his shit list. Sheer stayed on his shit list. Definitely. But it was easy to get on Pete's shit list. But the crazy part about it is like I heard stories about people like, oh, I got banned. Like Mary Santora was like, I got banned and then I came back or whatever. But I never got banned. He just will always talk shit anytime I walked in there when he was pissed at me. He was like, Ben Palmer's no longer welcome here. Fuck you, Sean Boyd. And then I would ask for time and he'd be like, no, Sean Boyd, you're not doing time. Right before the show would start, he'd look at the host and be like, Sean Boyd's doing 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm ready. Like,
I think we've all been banned before, but you just got to show up and then he's like, no, you're banned. But you just keep showing up and you're really not banned. You just got to keep hearing about how you're banned.
yep.
I'll tell you, Conley's been banned. Mike Conley's been banned. I love Conley so much, but him and Pete would butt heads sometimes. And there'd be times where Conley would get banned like for a year or two, then come back, and headline, 2 years later. But it was always fun to watch those two go at it. They'd be yelling and stuff, but there was so much love behind the yelling. And that's really what it is. I mean, we all knew he made questionable business moves for that comedy club where you kind of go, what the hell is he thinking? But at the same time, it worked, and even to have Nadell give him crap about some of this stuff was always fun. And she just shrug her shoulders go, he's just Pete,
Yep.
and we kind of go, okay. I always wanted to see Bar Rescue come to that club. I always thought that would be the best episode in TV history between that guy John and Pete.
Pete would have beat John. What was it, John Talmadge or some shit like that?
Tapper, John Tapper.
Yeah, he would have beat John's ass. Period. Like, there's no way John Tapper would have been able to hang with Pete at all. No matter what John said, Pete would have been like, fuck you.
He'd get all red and shake when he'd be like, we need to renovate this room. No!
Well, when they at the club now, when they did that wall between the bar and he didn't have a permit for that. He just had family come on in and do that.
And that's just like Pete not having a permit for the wall. I remember he made that fucking wall too. And I was like, why'd you make a wall, Pete? Fuck you, Sean Boyd. It looks good. I'm like, yeah, it do look good, Pete.
Right. Right.
It didn't help quiet down any of the margarita machines or anything.
Not at all. because it had the big opening right closer to the stage than in the back. Like,
Yeah. And that's why the old club is so cool, because you could hear him yelling from the kitchen, behind everything, or in the bar, you would hear him yelling at stuff. The best was, "What's your number?" In his nice, Lebanese accent. And it was always, "Pete, the show's supposed to start at 7:30. Oh, we need 20 more people. 20 more people will never come." And, he always waited and waited. Just like on Saturday, his own funeral started 10 minutes late. He probably needed 20 more people to get started for him. It's just in Pete's fashion. You need 20 more people.
Give it some time.
Right?
Give it some time. They're coming. They're coming. We'll do the show anyway.
But the headliners that we know, and some of them are pretty famous now. They'll still talk about Pete like he's the best club owner, just like Florentine on that interview. Took him to the airport or whatever it was when the car. You wouldn't see other club owners do that for people. So that's why it just wasn't a business. It was a family thing for Pete.
Not at all. Jeremy Shear chimed in and said he was banned for 3 years. He said it, and it was all Ben's fault. He said, "Motherfucker never got a week, but cost me my week." Oh shit! My guy, Big Earl, my guy, and Tim's guy, Big Earl,
What's up,
chimed
Earl? I
in
haven't
and
seen
said,
Earl
"Is
in a
that
while."
Danko or Nick Foley?"
Yeah, dude, I'm just getting
Man,
fatter
Shear
and
also
sadder
said,
by the
Gert-
minute.
Gert said, "You bring 20 people, or I go to hell."
And Tim, you worked at the club for a while though, right?
Yeah. For about 3 years or so. Like I
Okay.
was banned-ish for a while because I was doing shows in Canton at Buzzbin, and after I stopped doing that, he hired me right away. So as soon as I stopped working for that place, I started working for him, and it was about 3 years or so. I was working most weekends for
Right.
him, and
It was like the mob, right? You never go against the family.
Right.
You could be doing a show a
It's
half
like
hour
that,
away. You never go against the family. And
that's one of the reasons I finally quit, because he told me if I stopped doing it, he would give me a job. And it was going to happen anyway. I was about to stop anyway. So
Right.
it just kind of worked
Yeah.
out. But yeah, for about 3 or 4 years I worked for him.
First,
When Danko was working there one time, the show ended, and he was asking Pete when he was going to get booked. And Pete started going, "You tell me you're gay, I book you. You tell me you're gay, I book you." And he's like, "I'm not gay." And he's like, "You tell me you're gay, I book you. You tell me you're gay, I book you."
He said that same line to Anthony Savai. "I'll feature you if you admit you're gay. Just say you're gay."
He's gay. Yeah. Dick Danko, I know you're gay. I know you're gay, Dick Danko. And he gave me that nickname too. And even at the calling hours when I saw Nadal, the first thing she said is, "He used to call you Dick Danko." And I'm like, I know. It's I don't know exactly where it came from, but it always stuck. He always called me Dick Danko until he died. So and I do use it. I use it as my
That was
social media
one of Mick
handle.
Foley's alter aliases.
Yeah, Dick Danko.
Yeah.
That
That was the fourth face of Foley, Dig Danko.
yeah, you're right. That was somewhere between Dude Love and Mankind, somewhere in the middle there.
Oh shit! Hey, that's hilarious because like I didn't have a nickname. He would just call me my full name so much that everybody, Nadal, the boys, Tony, always called me Sean Boyd. It was never Sean. It was always Sean Boyd. Sean Boyd.
do you
And like
remember?
when Nadal seen me, when I went to the hospital to sit with them, Nadal seen me. She was like, she came out of the room for where Pete was and hugged me and was like, "Sean Boyd, he won't yell at you anymore." And that hurt me so bad to the core because like I used to do extra time just to get yelled at the funny stop.
Oh, that's what the excuse is.
That is what is real.
What about
man.
every other show you've done? Like, what about?
Pete might be in the back yelling at me.
So wait, the funny stop. You ran the light.
I ran the light all the time at the funny stop, and then Peter be, "I give you 5, you do fucking 6. I give you 6, I give you do fucking 7. Stop, Sean Boyd. No more time, and then give me more time." Like,
That was probably my favorite joke of the roast of Pete. Was
Oh, yes,
Joke.
definitely.
What was it? I could try to do it, but it would be terrible.
It was
I
like
was never
it's an honor knowing Sean Boyd because he's the first man that's gonna live forever. when he dies and sees the light, he's just gonna ignore it for eternity.
Nice.
Something like that.
Miss KT in the building. What's going on, sis? She said, "Rest in peace, Pete." And then she said, "I can't stay. Much love to all right." That's what's up. Jeremy Shear chimed in. It was like a dig the dumpster, Danko. He also said, "Sean, do you have a wait a humiliation kink?" No, not at all. What the fuck?
Yes,
His Shear said, "I want the light to be naughty."
let's dive deeper into this, Sean, in terms of why you ignore the light. Yeah.
I remember when Sean was doing those Thursdays, he'd do 10 minutes. He'd always wear that stupid ass like Popeye with the grill and a shirt like every week, like that was your uniform or something.
Long black t-shirt.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Hey, and that shirt was like a 5 fucking X too, man. That shirt was big as
Well,
fuck.
it had to fit Big Titty Boyd.
Asshole. Although Pete used to always say, anytime I came in there with a female, he'd be like, "Sean Boyd always comes with the prettiest girls. You better watch out. He's a killer." And I'm like sitting there like, "Pete, how you know I ain't, if I hit or not yet? And you trying to fuck my game up?" And Pete will always say, "He's always with the prettiest girls."
Yeah.
Always.
And then he'll give us that grin, and his eyebrows would go up, like that surprised look, like congratulations, and
That's
like
not
he's
as bad as-
surprised.
That's not as bad as he's cheating on his wife.
The one time my sister came in with my dad, and my dad had on like a tweed jacket with like patches on the elbow, and he didn't know it was my dad, and he like came over to me and he's like, Chris, I think your sister's getting it with her college professor."
Hey, but if you came in there with a girl, right, and he wouldn't say nothing to you, he'd just be like, "Oh yeah." But if you didn't come back with that same girl,
Yeah.
first thing he say is, "She left you, huh?
Yep.
She left you." I was just happy I never got the "she left you" talk like from Pete. Never. I was like, nope.
I think we're all gonna miss the announcements, the introductions, because it was always, "Here's Mike Gersh, he's single and ready to mingle, ladies," and, all this dumb stuff. But
Right, you knew you made it at the funny stop when he started putting "fucking" in your name or the,
Right,
or the curse
exactly.
words. It's Diego fucking Denko.
And then he's running out of breath as he's doing it too. You're thinking he's never going to make it. He's going to hyperventilate by the time he actually finishes.
Right.
There's a clip on Facebook that posted on the Rubber City Comedy Festival account that is a good example of that. He apparently Josh Volchko wrote down CA, meaning from California, and Pete didn't know if it was Canada or not. So he's like, "We got Kyle from Canada," and then just skips to the next name.
Yes. I watched that. I had to save that because that was definitely typical Pete. Because he would be like during while he's announcing the name, "Oh, I don't fucking know what it is," and just go to the next name.
Yeah, because he said, "Joe Briggs, oh, I know him."
Oh shit! Some of the funnest times with Pete though is when he invited me to go tailgating his boys' last 2 years at high school, and I didn't have to pay for anything, and he would just be like, "Sean Boyd, you come tailgating. You pay for nothing. You can drink and eat everything, but don't drink this. That's mine." And I'm like, I don't drink vodka anymore anyway, Pete. So okay, but like my son, it came a couple of times, and he would give my son shit because like he was like, "Sean Boyd, your son's trying to talk to that girl." Oh yeah, like. And then did anybody else get spit on when Pete would talk to you face to face?
All the time.
Every time he got excited or angry.
Right.
I remember when COVID came out, he said, "COVID, you catch COVID with dick." I'm like, "Don't put me in that combo, motherfucker."
Oh man, Ben.
That's how you knew he was really mad, though, was he was spitting. Because if he just yelled, you whatever. But when he started spitting, that's when you knew he was pissed.
He was spit when he was happy though too though. That's the crazy part.
True.
Be chewing and shit. You know what the fuck you eating? Like, damn, man, what you eating?
You talking to me?
We're talking about Pete.
Oh.
Oh shit. Ben, you want to tell your story about a Facebook page?
I guess you guys already heard it though, didn't you? You guys already know the story.
I mean, I don't know the story. But
You don't know the story?
I do. No, I do. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Long story short, you know, I
So
don't know why. Made Pete a fake Facebook page, like a profile, and then started adding every comedian. And then they started messaging Pete and asking for stage time. And then I added like every comedian on Facebook. And then Pete found out and he was furious. I don't think he knew it was me for a long time. But
I remember that shit. He was mad as fuck. Who did that? I'm gonna find out.
and I moved
Anytime
away.
went into the-
And I
Go
came
ahead.
back and I came back once before last month. I like featured once before. I didn't talk to him about it then, but this last time he brought it up. He was like, "You made the website." I was like, "Yeah." And then after my show, I was on stage talking to the crowd, doing like a Q&A thing, and I was like, "Y'all, did you guys get seated by that crazy Lebanese dude?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Pete. He's the owner." And then like right on cue, Pete was like, "Ben Palmer used to go on stage high as a skunk." And then he's like, "He made a website about me. He made a website about me." Oh yeah. People used to message him, and I'd be like, "Nah, you're not funny. No stage time." Yeah, man, that was fun. That was like full circle kind of thing, you know. It felt good, but thank God he didn't find out while I lived there. Otherwise, I would have been banned from the Funny Stop. That might have been a lifetime ban. I think
A lifetime ban.
he was mad. He was really mad. He was trying to find out. Everyone wanted to know.
Go ahead. I'll let you know about 20 minutes.
No, the funniest thing is when you said you were going to reveal who it was, and you said a comic's name, and then he started posting on there like, "I swear it's not me. I swear I didn't make this page."
Greg Smerdell. That's what it was, Greg Smerdell. Yeah, Smerdell.
I promise, Pete, I didn't do this.
The funny part is, like, I knew exactly who it was. I gave you, because like you was like, "Do I have a picture of Pete?" And it was a picture that I had of Pete, and you cropped everybody else out, and it was just Pete's face. So every time I went in the club, Pete would be like, "Sean Boy, do you know who it was?" I'm like, "Pete, I don't know what you're talking about. Let me get 5 minutes. You tell me who it was, I give you 5 minutes." Like every single time. Sheer said he threatened to call the cops over your page. He did.
On Jeremy Shear. So I screwed over Greg Smerdell, and I got the cops called on Jeremy Shear.
Wait, Ben, was that your first fake Facebook page?
Honestly, I think it was, to be honest with you, because that was before I started doing all that other stuff. That was when I lived in Ohio still. I didn't start doing the other stuff till I was in Atlanta.
I bet at first he was probably most pissed because you put his middle name as Mohammed. It wasn't Pete Funny Stuff, Aziz Mohammed.
Oh shit. Oh god. Look, and then Sheer right on cue. Pete, Funny Stop, Mohammed Aziz.
That's what it is.
I didn't know his name at the time. Muhammad's the most common name, you know.
Yeah, but that's like intruded on the Lebanese Civil War.
Hey, listen, I don't think most people knew Pete's real name until his damn funeral.
I'm not gonna lie.
I said it at his roast.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Because I asked, because Marv Connor found like some videos. I was watching it last night, and I was like, Pete doesn't want anybody to know his name, but I found it. Am I allowed to say what it is? And he's like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, it was out there. It just had to go. It wasn't that hard to find over some time, but yeah. I mean, we knew it wasn't Pete.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Everybody knew it wasn't Pete.
yeah.
No, it was Pete Muhammad Aziz. What is it again? I forget. Oh,
Here
yeah,
it goes.
Pete Funny Stop. That's the best part. That the last name was Funny Stop, though. Pete Funny Stop. He was Pete from the Funny Stop. I found a picture of him too, and I put it up there. It was everyone was convinced that was him. They're like, "Oh yeah." That's the part too. Everyone accepted it and believed that that was his real name.
Right. That's the funny part. Yeah.
Yeah,
Listen,
so that was
people wanted stage time, man, and then you would type in his broken English, and people thought it was really him.
yeah. I would just start saying comments and say not funny. I'd be like, Sean Boyd, not funny. Dick Danko, not funny.
Yeah, his true page and his Twitter page is never going to be the same because it's all going to be spelled correctly from here on out.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Man, I got
After
so
let
sad.
Tony take over.
I was looking up his old Twitter, and I got so many tweets from him just saying, like, Chris must be gay now he's living in California. And I was like, I can't believe I'm so upset about this.
Hey, but Pete did not know how to use social media. When he finally made a Facebook page, he put his birthday was July fucking 1st. and would get pissed because, like, Nadal told me that Saturday morning he was pissed because he was getting birthday, like happy birthday. And he's like, Nadal, why are these fucking people telling me happy birthday? It's not my fucking birthday. Like, before he went to the fucking hospital, he's yelling at Nadal about a mistake he made on his fucking Facebook page.
See, he needed me to run his account.
Like, he still had a sense of humor and was still cussing motherfuckers out, even on the way to the fucking hospital, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Whoever takes over the account needs to make sure it's still tweeting Arabic at various Lebanese figures.
Chevy, you at the Carter and shit?
Hell yeah, man.
Oh shit! This is
I
looks
think
like
Chris Clemens the only one that got that reference, though.
I know the reference to Carter, motherfucker. The top. Came back around. It's the Carter, motherfucker.
I don't know why, but those sunglasses make it even funnier.
I'm on the phone, bro. Hold on.
I typed in the room, but I got to run and go get some food. But thanks for having me on, inviting me, Sean.
Hey, no doubt, man. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Yep. You guys have a good one. And continue blaming Greg Smurdell for everything.
Yeah.
See you guys.
All right, brother.
Gersh.
All right.
Oh man, hey, that's funny because I know I didn't like Greg Smurdell, so so when you said he made the page, I was like, "Yep, he did it."
It was just perfect because that's like the guy who would be the most upset about it.
Right.
Yeah,
Like you already had a sixth sense for that, Ben.
Hey, that's hilarious, man.
What's going on now, Chevy? What's going on? You checking on that forehead or what?
You got a text?
Huh?
You got a text. You can't read the text without your sunglasses.
Prescription.
I ain't got no abuse He roasted.
Oh, shit. I just remember Pete always saying, "I'm the funniest fucker here. I'm the funniest motherfucker here," like all the time, and we would try to get him to go on stage, and he finally got on stage a couple times, and he was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I still think I got a video somewhere on my computer of him getting on stage one night after a show and just ripping on people for like 15 minutes.
I think I was there that night.
I bet you were.
Probably was too.
It's because there's more people he knows, the more he felt like putting on a show.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
he'd be like, I told you I'm funnier than all these motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Chef Tony used to get yelled at, right? Because anytime he see me, he would call me like John Boyd, right?
John Boyd.
But then towards the end, like he starts calling me like Sean Boyd, which is crazy. But Tony would get yelled at because anytime he would ask Pete, like, Pete, when you go get Sean Boyd a week? Oh, shut the fuck up. I do this shit. You don't do this shit. You just cook. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like he would take like verbal abuse from Pete just to like help me out. And it would, to me, it was like so hilarious, man. Because I'm like, you ain't had to take that for me, man. Like I appreciate it though. That dude, hilarious, man. Anybody else got some good Pete stories?
I just love when anyone new would come into the club, and especially people who worked at other clubs. Like a lot of times when Sean Lynch would come in, he'd bring a different feature that he knew from New York or whatever, and I'd be emceeing for him. And like every time they come in, they may have heard stories about Pete, but they're just amazed because they will all worked at other clubs and there's nobody like them, and they're like, oh, the stories are true, and then they lose it because I'm emceeing in the first minute is me and Pete going back and forth on the God mic. Fuck you, Dick Danko. Fuck you, Pete. Fucking they're just losing it. It was always fun to see new comics come in and witness that for the first time.
I don't know how he always knew what was happening, even before he was like, he seems like this clueless guy. And I was booked there for like a feature week, I think. And I had just emceed at the Cleveland Improv for the first time. And it took me like forever to get in there. And after the one show, he's like, hey, Chris. And I was like, hey, he goes, I heard you like emceeing. I make you MC for the rest of the week, huh? And I was like, what? He's like, oh, you want to MC for the improv, but you want to feature here. What make you think this is worse than the improv? And he started yelling at me. It's like, what?
He would know everything, man. Everything. Yep.
One day, I get a text from him, and it's a picture of the marquee from the Empire Concert Club next to the smoke shop.
Oh,
and he's like,
shit.
Dick Danko, what the fuck is this? And it's my name on the marquee. He was not happy. He was pretty pissed.
It's another Tim Danko, Pete.
Yeah, man.
I think there's just a bunch of snitches that used to hang out there, I think.
Yeah, that too.
I used to not give a fuck. Like, don't do bar shows, whatever, man. I'll see. I'm about to go do one right now. Actually, I gotta go.
You're the one that was. Were you the one that talked about putting up flyers for the show at the Red Fox or something? Just like
I think so. Yeah, I remember that. Vaguely remember that.
It would have been hilarious, but I think it would have been a new level of pissed off, and it would have seen.
That's why you would always shit talk Savat, because he'd always blame him. He goes, "You do dirty comedy with Anthony Savat."
Yeah. Anthony Savat's killing comedy doing bar shows.
Yeah,
that was funny. As soon as you walk in, he wouldn't say, "Hey, how you doing?" He'd just be like, "Anthony Savat, fuck him." Like,
Yeah,
all right,
and he
man.
blamed the waitresses too. He's like, "They tell me he can't come into my club because he stink like shit."
Oh, Tony's in here.
Mr. Cover, what's going on, brother? Blast from the past right there, man. He said, you're not funny. Bring 5 more people next week, then you be funny.
Comedy toughie.
Not Tuffy.
Comedy tough.
He used to always say comedy was tough. And
Comedy is tough. I
he
forgot
wasn't,
about that.
he wasn't lying though, man. When he used to say that so much, and then when you finally like start getting booked, and then you got that like little lull in between bookings and between months and shit, you realize Pete was always fucking right, man. Comedy is fucking tough.
Comedy's tough. Look at me. I'm in a wife beater on a back porch right now. Look at this shit. Shit's not going good. No,
Look at me. I can't even get a fucking webcam. I just got a gray circle.
Hey, you got SB let you borrow his computer, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Man.
Jeremy Shear said I asked someone to make me a comedy is tough patch in the funny stop font. Hey, that would be cool.
I'll buy that
Cool.
shit, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell
I think
yeah,
that's
I'll get
good.
that shirt all fucking day.
So, Jeremy, you've already started trying to exploit.
Starting the funny stop merch store. The Pete funny stop Muhammad Aziz merch store.
There's gonna be another one with just Pete and it says Hallelujah. It's like
Right.
Yes,
Hallelujah.
this is his face. Right there you go.
Pete. Oh man.
I need one of those, and I need one of those Colorado and Times shirts
Yeah,
too. I need one of those.
It's the only one that's shit closed, and this is the sample I ordered. I just got it today, fresh out the mailbox.
Fresh out the mailbox. That's hilarious.
He used to always be wearing those old comedian like T-shirts, like female body inspector type shit.
Or like the one that had a bunch of weird letters you couldn't tell what it said, but if you folded it, it said "fuck you" or whatever.
Yes.
Cheer said, "If there's one thing I love doing, is exploiting other Semitic people's death." I swear I hate him. Ray Highclack in the building. He said, "I watched Pete go full Newt Rock." What? Oh, okay. I'm like on a bunch of amateurs. It was
He
like
spelled it wrong.
and somehow still made no sense. Oh man, I do remember though. Go ahead. I remember when he had me featuring for
Cloud.
Screech. No, Screech.
Whatever happened to
Dustin
the
Diamond. Dustin Diamond. And then I ended up getting booked in El Paso for one of the bookers that would send people to Pete as headliners, like Gallagher and Thea Vidal and everything. And I told Pete, I was like, "Hey, Pete, I can't feature this weekend." And he was like, "Why not?" And I told him what was going on. And I was going to El Paso to feature. And he was like, "No, go do that. You can feature here anytime." I was like, "That's what's up." So he knew when it was something big like that. He never really got mad at us and shit, but he was always proud of us though, because anytime he got to brag, he always said he started on my stage. He started at this club.
Yeah, he was also was super proud of everyone that went on for the big things. I mean, he was last time I saw him 2 days before he died. 2 days before the stroke. He was talking about how Marcelo Hernandez called him.
Yeah,
he called and thanked me. He thanked me. He said, "This stage makes stars." Yeah, man. I don't know if anyone told Marcelo what happened, but
I actually reached out. I don't know if he looked at it yet, but I reached out just to let him know. I reached out to a couple people to let him know, so keep people in the loop.
He was proud of my ticket sales, but then he used it to talk shit about another comedian's ticket sales. She's like, "You sell more than." He's like, "I'm gonna tell him that you sell more than him."
He doesn't understand, or he didn't understand how like things work. Like Brian Kenny had a Ohio Lottery commercial, so to Pete, he was this giant star. Where you were on the internet, so he didn't understand it.
Hold on, Nick Jabor in the building. My favorite saying, "Nigga, what's going on?" He gonna say he used to finish all you guys' jokes and then laugh to himself. Yeah,
he did that to me through the God mic once. Like it was my last joke, and he stepped on my punchline. It's a fuck with me, and that was come on.
Yeah, that's my.
He used to be in the back while everybody was on stage. He used to do Marv Connor's joke all the time.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt all the time, and then be like, "Oh yeah," in the back all the time, man. I used to love that shit.
Roosevelt.
What time is radio?
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, brother.
What
time is radio, man? Put it in the chat. I'll put it up here.
I'll plug it for him. It's 11 to 1.
11 Eastern.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. All right, y'all.
WCSB.org, 89.3 FM, Cleveland.
One more time.
WCSB.org or 89.3 FM if you're local.
There we go. Yeah, man. Pete was always proud of us, even though he gave us shit, man. Like he definitely, you can always tell he was proud of us. Anytime he people would mention us, he started on my stage. And that was the cool thing about him. He gave us shit so many fucking times. But he also showed us that he was proud of us by giving us stage time or just letting us know, you know what I'm saying, we were always welcome there and welcome in his home. And he was definitely family, though, y'all. Definitely family. Definitely.
He was like my comedy dad.
Yep.
Gave me birth. I came out. Right after. I'll stop now.
As mean as he was to me, he was always so nice to
So
my
nice to
wife,
who?
and he'd always be super complimentary when he saw my parents.
Oh yeah.
Kristen, my wife, and also he'd
Yeah.
always tell my parents how good I was doing and how proud he was of me. He never said that to me, but he said it to my dad.
Hey, that's what counts, though, man.
Well, the only dad that ever came to my show is Anthony Savat. So he told him, "Fuck you, your kid sucks."
My mom met him one time, and as soon as she met him, he just starts yelling about me. Like, so she's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, he likes me. That's just how he is." I don't know. I'm like, it was when I was emceeing for not Screech, Pauly Shore. I'm like, he booked me with Pauly. He doesn't hate me, Mom. Like
Right.
he usually talk like that. I'm like, that's just how he is. Yeah.
Hey, he will always ask about your family and your kids. Like he met both my parents. He met my son, my daughter. Man, like definitely, like Nick said, one of a kind. His memory will be strong for sure.
When I was looking over the weekend on for old tweets, I found this thread where he was arguing with me, and I stopped responding, and he sent like 5 tweets in a row arguing with me, and at the end he said, "Okay, Chris, congrats on the baby, and tell Kristen I said hi."
Somewhere in my Facebook page, here's a thread from years ago that was, I don't know. We started just doing P quotes on the thread, and then it ended up being like 100 comments of just different P quotes, and like 30 different people chimed in. It was hilarious. When it pops up again, I'll share it. But if I knew where it was, I'd find it. But it's pretty hilarious.
I know I was pissed because like the last time I seen Pete was with Ben. We had to go pick up the key for the condo for you, and as soon as he seen me, Sean Boyd, you taking care of that baby girl? And then he gonna say, "You looking good," and I'm pissed because I took the compliment instead of saying, "That's gay, Pete." Yeah, he
I was
definitely.
looking for an old email from Pete or something. I haven't found anything. I'm trying to see.
Yep. So definitely happy birthday to my daughter, little mama. Her birthday was yesterday. Also yesterday I played softball, and it was funny because like it was a 9-9 game, bottom of the 7th, and I'm up to bat first. And all I hear is Pete saying, "You guys suck."
Turn that music down.
We had a funny stop softball team.
That was the worst
game. The only game we won was on Father's Day, and Pete took us back to his house to have a barbecue for us. And he was like, "You guys fucking suck. One game, that's it."
That was the only one we won. That was the funniest / most terrible softball team I've ever been on.
Oh
It
my
was
god!
fun.
We had a ball, but we sucked. Nick Jabor was pitching, man. Like,
Who'd you beat?
I don't remember who we beat, but they was probably just as bad. But Pete was there, and we had to show out, so we had won a game out of 2 games. But no, I heard Pete in my head saying, "You guys suck," and it was funny because like I don't hit home runs no more, but I hit a fucking home run, man. And I literally, after I hit the home run, I heard my team cheering, and I went to the sideline, dude. I was teary-eyed because like I felt like Pete was there saying, "You fucking suck. You better hit this home run." And it was crazy as shit, man. But Nick said we had a blast. We did have a blast on that team. It was fun.
My brother still talks about it.
When I got divorced, I heard Pete in my head saying, "You suck." And, really, it was right. I mean, he was being honest. So
It's because you're smoking that shit.
it's because you married high as a skunk.
Right. He
You
told me
cheated on him
how
with the blonde chick.
eyes was fucking each other. He was like, "Some boy so high his eyes fucking each other." Because of my lazy eyes, like, "You fucking asshole."
That's like what he said to Chevy. He was like, "Me and you might get coronavirus." Chevy's like 38 years old.
We get coronavirus with dick. I'm like, "Bro, fuck you, motherfucker. I ain't dying. I lived through it all, bitch."
Oh shit!
You always bring up the story when he sprayed Ramon with Febreze. I sprayed him. He stink like shit. I sprayed him with Febreze.
That's not the only person he sprayed with Febreze, man. He sprayed a whole bunch of. He sprayed Savat with Febreze.
Of course, he sprayed.
For
He
different
emptied the whole
reasons,
bottle on him.
And Savat don't even smoke weed, and he sprayed him with Febreze.
Well, he doesn't shower.
Hey, man, I give Anthony credit. I gave him a ride to the calling hours and the funeral, and he took a shower. So I'm
Hey,
proud
there
of
we
him for
go.
that.
He changed the new leaf.
He did say it was like the first time in 10 days, though.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Anthony Cover said Pete once said, "You do radio show with Ben Palmer. He funny, you not funny. He do comedy. You go do something else," which is what happened. But I mean, at the time, I was like, "What a dick!" But he gave me 10 minutes anyway.
That's just crazy, man.
Oh man, Nick Jabor said he bought air freshener just to spray people. Just read my mind. Oh shit! Hey, that's hilarious, man. Pete was the shit though, y'all. He was definitely the shit.
Hey, look bottom right. Would you swipe left or right?
Chevy looks like those memes where they're like boomers take selfies like this.
Oh shit! That's hilarious. That's too funny.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, my co-host. Yeah, her birthday was it was your birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Say it louder.
Thank you.
Gotta get out of here, for mama. Oh shit! All right, y'all. Any more last stories before we get up out of here?
The roast of Pete was pretty great.
Yeah.
That was
Been there
that
for
was the best. I had to break up a fight between Bill Squire and Chad Zumach.
Like a real fight.
Well,
That
they
fight
got
was-
like in each other's faces and they acted like they were gonna fight, and I had to step in between them. I'm like, that would have been the worst fight of all time. I should have let it happen.
The worst fight of all time because nobody would have did anything. They'd have been scratching each
No,
other.
they were like in each other's face. So I'm like, I was back there at the booth, and I'm just like, don't, not today.
Man, I was holding my pee for so long because that show was so long, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. And when I came out, all these people were just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And it was not as bad as what those people in the crowd made it sound like, but
Not at all. Not at all. Ben, you got a peace story before we get up out of here? Chevy, anybody?
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Chevy. Get out of my club. You do 5 minutes.
I just remember one of the first times I thought I did pretty good on this stage, and I got off, and people were like, "Oh man, good job, good job." And then I see Pete come around the corner. He's like, "Danko, you fucking bomb! You bomb on my stage." I'm like, "Did Pete really think I bombed?" And everyone's like, "Dude, he was in the parking lot when you were up. he wasn't even in the building."
Oh shit! Hey, that's hilarious. That's funny as shit.
this isn't even my story. But there was one show where a comic made fun of his ceiling, and it wasn't one of his guys. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like a regular there, and he lost his mind yelling at them. Where it's like, I've made fun of that all the time, and he never said anything.
Never. Nick Jabor said, "My favorite thing you ever did was fill the soap bottles with water to make them full."
I do that shit at home, so I can't be mad at him.
Marty Drexler in the building. He said,
what's
"Been
up,
great
Marty?
hearing these stories, fellas. Big respect for Pete and all y'all. Gonna put some kids to bed. Got too many damn kids, but I'm gonna try and be a stranger.
Not
Probably
gonna try.
Probably not be a stranger. Oh, I'm not gonna try to be a stranger. Okay. Rest in peace, Pete. He'll never be forgotten. Definitely.
Pete
Thanks
loved
for
Marty
tuning in, Marty.
Drexler because he was clean.
Oh, he loved
He'd
Marty
always be
Drexler.
like, Marty Drexler clean. You learned something.
Oh shit. That's crazy as hell. Hey, y'all want to give up y'all social medias if anybody want to follow y'all real quick?
Mine's at Dig Danko. Just that on everything, I think. Yeah, I got the name for Pete. I've been using it for social media. So thanks, Pete.
I'm Tinder.com/Chevy Terrell.
He's got the mood lighting on now.
That's my flashlight because my light ain't working in my room.
Don't put that in your bio. Don't put that in your bio.
Sorry, I don't give a damn. Everything with me breaks eventually.
Come hold the flashlight with me girl.
Hold that flashlight. Don't screw my bracer on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, shit.
You
Nick
see,
said he wouldn't want anything more than all you guys to still perform at the club. I hear that. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks, Nick.
Hey, Nick's the truth, man. That's my guy right there, man. Definitely.
he poured me a fat ass shot the last time I seen him.
Hey, I
So Nick
always
been the best drink.
brag because I was the only comic invited to his wedding and shit. So that's my guy.
That's what's up.
Man, I was just happy he came for the show that Palmer did at the Rubber City Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great seeing him again, man.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
I was out of town. I really bummed me out not to see that, but you'll be back sometime, right?
I don't even know who took the picture. Chevy posted on Facebook. It was like a picture of all of us on stage after the show. I'm really glad we took that.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
I cropped you out.
That's fine.
It was just me and Pete, though. I cropped everybody out. Just me
Yeah, I
and
posted the same thing. Just me and him and cropped everybody else out.
I want people to be like, which one's Pete? They're looking at you like that must be Pete.
Yeah.
Hey, replace me with Clem, man. We almost the same height. He got about 2 inches on me.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Oh shit! Hey, because like I ain't had no babysitter. I was pissed. I missed it.
My brother was in the crowd for that too. We got to meet Pete, and so that was a special night for sure.
That's what's up.
I screwed it up though because of that show. I had to switch the HDMI projector, and then on Saturday they were trying to use the old projector, and I never hooked it back up. And I was like, "Sorry, I need to get the ladder out if that's gonna happen."
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look at Marty. Look at Marty sending his info. Like he was on the
Hey,
show.
Marty, we thought you already left, man. It's too late to share hands.
And my handle was Chevy Terrell.
Chevy, what are you looking for in a girlfriend?
Somebody that ain't got no limp. That's what I'm looking for.
Your lip?
Yeah,
No
but what if
limp.
your limbs will sync up?
Oh, no lip. I
That's
thought you
it.
said
No
no
lip.
lip.
She need to be healthy. Two motherfuckers. Yeah, she need to be because I need help.
So you're looking for a caregiver, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
A home health aide?
You're looking to hire somebody. Is that what we're getting?
Hey man, it's a bunch of them in my building, man. Yeah.
Home health aide?
Yeah, this girl came up. She said, I ain't gonna lie, I got a client in here. I said, yeah, I'm probably gonna be one of them. Shit.
Ooh, hey, that's game though. That's game.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hey,
That's a great
amazing.
icebreaker. I got a client in this building.
Yeah. What's hey, what can you say? Something about your brace? Anything else you can make a reference to have her come inside and check your apartment out and shit?
My apartment clean. When they get in there, they be like, "Oh, you clean up? you highly functioning. You driving that?"
There you go. You gotta get some candles going and get her in there to check on your blood pressure or something like
I
that.
got some candles. I got light candles. All that.
Lights and candles, all that.
I don't need to check my blood sugar no more. I got the little machine with stick in your arm. You got the receiver on your phone.
You want to have Dig Danko like in the other room for you, just like
No, I had Dick Danko in my room, man.
He's
That's my
gay.
dude. Tim, you my homeboy, but you ain't got to be in my other room.
Come on.
hey, I got an emergency thing in my room. I got emergency string just in case some shit go down.
In the bathroom or in the room?
In my room and the bathroom.
Hey, you need to put that in your profile. Come help me pull the string.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You need somebody to pull the string. So
Yeah.
I'll pull on your heartstrings if you pull on my emergency string.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I told you I'm in a senior citizen building.
Mhm.
So I'm the youngest one in this motherfucker.
Hey, you're top.
The old ladies be like, "Oh, they make me feel good though." They be like, "Oh, you move around a lot."
What's the name of your the place?
guardrails.
What's the name of the place?
I got guardrails in my shower too.
Hey, what's the name of the place you stay at? What's it called?
William Fowler.
You're a 10 at William Fowler. You're a William Fowler 10.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit! Hey, if y'all in Cleveland this Friday, come check Palmer Trolls out, aka Ben Palmer, at Dunlap's
No,
Corner.
don't promote bar shows, man. This is a Pete Memorial show.
Oh, you right.
Man, fuck that. I'm be at that show
Dunlap's
too.
bar
Right.
show.
I'll be at Dunlap's too.
You're killing comedy. You do shows at bars.
Oh, that stinky Ramon Rivas.
Well,
You right. You so right. Oh shit! Follow the podcast page, Just Therapy the podcast. We're usually on time every fucking Monday, but of course, Pete threw a wrench in it. So
the computer was on CP time.
I'll get to share my social media.
Shit.
He look at that light that just popped on.
Now you keep changing your name, man. We don't know what it is.
Oh, get out of here, Dick Danko.
Is it Dig or Dick Danko?
Both.
Now it's big.
Yeah,
now
now it's big. It's big again. It started out as big and it was dig, and now it's big again.
You know, I
Now Dig
actually
Danko.
Dig.
I don't want to be starting beef right now, but I actually got somebody said something real positive about Tim. They said that he looks like a train wreck, but it stopped like 4 years ago. So he's been maintaining the same size.
Yeah.
Actually, with COVID hit, I gained like 60 pounds of COVID. So it's not exactly true, but that's the interesting. Who said that? I need to know who said that.
Well, considering there's like every comic in Northeast
Yeah,
Ohio,
it could've been
I ain't
anyone.
gonna tell you. So there's nobody meant ill will by it though. They were actually defending you.
No, I know. That's why I wanted to know who it was. I'm taking it as a compliment. At this point, I'm taking it as a compliment.
Yeah, he was at the show.
Oh shit!
Son was at the show. Like this.
Oh god, that's hilarious. Hey, I want to thank y'all for being on the show tonight, man. I appreciate y'all holding out, waiting for my fucking computer to act right. I appreciate y'all. Everybody that's watching, Couchers, thank you for tuning in. I hope you got to embrace Pete as much as we did, and if you didn't, you definitely know him now and love him even more. So I appreciate everybody on the show, y'all. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Thanks.
All right, now.
I think Ben was right. This is the most I laughed in a long time.
Me too.
Come on, man.
Definitely.
Same time next week, guys. All right.
All right.
And I was about to say, Chris, you never put out your social
is.
media stuff.
Oh, it's
On Instagram.
There you go.
Chris Clem. Who would have thought?
I got it.
Chris
It's
Clem.
Chris_Clem.
Yeah, that guy's still cyber squatting on the other one. He's never tweeted ever.
It's like the same guy's got benpalmer.com.
Yeah, same
He
guy
just
who
does
is
nothing
at Tim
with it.
Danko on Twitter. Yeah.
I finally got chrisclem.com back, but there's nothing up there right now because I didn't pay to keep my site up.
There you go.
Nice.
Chris Clem Net on IG. Smiley Joe Wiley, my guy. He say, sorry, I missed you guys. Pete lives. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, he said his
Joe.
internet was fucked up and he couldn't jump on either. So, hey, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all jumping on, man. Long live Pete. We all got Pete stories. We all keep telling them because that dude was the shit. Because he even said, fuck you to everybody that's been on the show today.
Fuck you, Chevy. Big Chevy.
All day. All right. All right, y'all. Thanks again. Ben, I'll see you soon.
All right.
Chevy, I'll see you soon. Clem, I got to see you soon, too, brother.
Man, I really wish I could come to the show on Friday, but I'm going to see Limp Bizkit.
Hey, I think they're probably better than the show. So
That's not the first time I've heard that, man.
Ben's
Hey, they're my
Limp Bizkit
brothers.
Fans are basically interchangeable.
I was a Limp Bizkit fan too.
You did it all.
Yeah, you still rolling?
You did it all for the cookie.
Huh? No, I ain't did all nothing no cookie, goddammit. Got you fucked up, man.
Hey, Chevy, you got to tell the joke about pissing with motherfuckers when we do the show.
Yeah, we got my house talking about you talking about you play some piss wars. I said I don't be pissing with other motherfuckers. Shit. That's what you talking about. Me and my brother used to play kid. What did you say? You was like you and your brother.
Yeah,
We used to play
I
piss.
grew up with a brother, so we used to when we pee together, we cross streams and play swords. You know, and then every now and then you actually fuck up and shoot the. You know, you miss, you hit him. You actually hit him with your sword.
Is that the same brother that molested you?
And then Ben gonna say, you ain't never played piss. He's like, you ain't never played piss swords. And I was like, I don't be pissing with other motherfuckers. I'm thinking,
We was all there. All the black people said no. We like, what the fuck? I'm like, yeah, I've done that. She was like, yeah, I've done that too.
That was that Ray Felton spot out in fucking like North Royalton. I remember it like snowed a couple times, and we barely made it out there. It was like, but we went out there and did it. Drove in the snow for like an hour just to get there and perform for like a couple people.
4 people.
Yeah,
Yep.
but you
In
know,
comics. 4 people and 5 comics.
but hey, that was it was worth it though. Those were the days. These are the days too, man. It was great seeing everybody.
Yeah,
too, man.
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. All right,
Sorry,
fellas.
nobody saw me.
That's not a problem, Chris. Nobody wants to see you anymore.
Oh,
He's gay.
Chris, the last time I seen you, I didn't know that was you. Like, I was just for like an hour, and I was like, man, then you was like, hey, man, son, man, you don't even remember me, do you? And I was like, what the fuck?
I did wait to make it extra awkward, so because I saw you looking at me like, who is this?
I was like, man, I was like, he turned to Jesus.
Everybody was talking to me, and you were like, well, how do these people all know this guy?
Yeah, I was like, that's Chris Clem. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Last time you ain't had that much hair, man.
No, I didn't. Never in my life.
Yeah,
All right, let's go.
I was like, this, yeah, man. It was good seeing you, though, Chris.
It was. I was glad we all got to hang out afterwards,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I ain't seen you in a minute, Danko, man. Good to see you, too.
You too, man.
Yeah,
Good seeing you, man.
yeah, for sure. SB is always a pleasure, man. We gonna get together Friday.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Not to be too sentimental, but talking about somebody dying, it's like you don't realize one day it's the last time like everybody's hanging out together
Yeah.
until it's like 5 years later.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, definitely. You ain't lying. Definitely. We'll probably do another memorial show on close to Pete's actual birthday, which is September 15th. So,
Like it was my birthday.
so we'll,
That's right. It was your birthday. Happy birthday.
she ran.
Happy birthday again, little mama.
She was out like it was my birthday and bounced. Ran in the living room. All right. Once again, appreciate y'all. Couchers, thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, thank you so much for being on the show. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I love every one of y'all like brothers. All because of Pete, man. So definitely love y'all, man. And you know, I'll fuck somebody up over y'all. So hopefully
Thanks for reaching out.
You say what?
Thanks for reaching out and including me. I really enjoyed it.
Hey, no doubt, Chris. No doubt, man. I tried to reach out to as many people that I liked. As possible. Katrina sends her love because she was supposed to be on the show, but she said she couldn't do it. So, all right, y'all. Hey, love y'all. Smiley Joe Wiley said, "Much love, brothers." Hey, man. Hey, I gotta come out to Vegas and holler at you, Smiley, for real. Definitely.
That's crazy. I met my Wiley in Vegas.
That's my guy right there, man. Yeah, man. Matter of fact, I'm the one told you to look him up when you was
Yeah,
out there.
he sure did. And he got bumped. Yep, hell yeah.
I met him at the Funny Stop. Shit, yeah.
Mhm.
Good dude. Good brother. Funny motherfucker, too.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, couchers. I'll be back next week with Palmer Trolls. We'll get into more of everything of what his crazy ass do. Until then, I'm your host, SB, and I'll see y'all next week. God willing, we out. Thanks again, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
CAH Beats. Activate.
Welcome to Just Therapy, where we talk about life with a comedy twist. With your hosts, comedian Sean Boyd, Antonio Ferguson, and Miss KT. We talk about a whole bunch of shit from politics to people actually taking shits. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the therapy session. Man, this be dope. Make a motherfucker want to rap. I can't rap, man. Hold on, here we go. I can't rap. I really can't. But come sit down on the couch with us. Man, I can't rap. Come to the couch. Enjoy the show. Let's go.